Welcome back to Dirtbag Baseball Talk, everybody. Great to have you here as always. And hey, we do it for you. We can't do it without you. And so welcome back for another great episode. And if you've been watching already, we're doing the Win Reality hitting device and virtual reality tool, training tool series. And last episode we had on the president, Brandon Window, head of customer relations, Matt, and just a great opening series, a video, just to bring you and enlighten you a little bit about what Win Reality is, where the concept came to be, how it came to fruition, and just a little teaser of it. So again, if it's new to you and it's the first time getting going with it or whatever, and that, relax, because we're going to have a bunch of videos on it and a bunch of series, and we're going to try to cover off a lot of questions that you might have. And if you do have questions, send them in to us here at Dirtbag Baseball Nation. That's Kirk at dirtbagbaseballnation.com. We'll get them asked out and answered on a future episode, or we'll reach right out to you personally and get it done for you for sure. So anyways, we're going to get going with this episode because I know that's what you're here for. So this is a really unique episode for me personally. I'm quite excited about it, as I always am with all our episodes. But ironically enough, as you may or may not know, I'm over here coaching in France this year and stuff like that, as far as when I'm not doing the Dirtbag Baseball Nation, in a place called La Rochelle. So for the Buccaneers. And one of my good players there, and that we're always talking baseball and training aids and what could help, what can't, what he's used in the past and stuff like that. And I brought up Win Reality, and he said, well, don't tell anybody on the team or whatever, because I don't like a lot of people knowing or whatever and that, but I have Win Reality. And I said, there's no way. And so we get talking, and sure enough, he does have it. So without further ado, I got Chris Buitron, one of my players here. He's out of the great state of Texas. So there's a unique story to this as well. And Chris, welcome to Dirtbag Baseball Talk, man. Great to have you with us, buddy.
How's it going, Kirk? I really appreciate it for you having me here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So again, like you blew me away when you said about it and stuff like that. But yeah, for you, okay, let's put this into context, if we will. How old are you right now?
Right now I'm 30.
So you're 30, okay.
Yeah.
So how does Win Reality come into your vision? How does it come onto your radar? And then why do you go out and purchase it, make the move to invest and become a member of Win Reality?
Yeah, no, I was trying to look for like a device, or like a training tool for the off season, like it's very good, important having so many at bats before the first game of the season. And, so like, and then from just trying to get live at bats in the off season is kind of hard. It's pretty difficult trying to get live at bats, and I mean, like hitting off a tee is easy, everything's mechanical, but I was trying to look for a tool that I could be using in the off season so I could kind of have like a at bat simulation, having the count, the 2-1 count, the full count, knowing it's a strike or a ball or like seeing different type of pitches. And then like the Win Reality, like I've known about it for a while, of course. And then finally in January, I was like, man, dude, I'm just gonna buy it, man. So I bought the whole set and everything. And then honestly, man, it's been like one of the best training tools that I still use today. I'm still during the season.
Absolutely.
I use the tool just to get ready for
it. You look a bit funny when you put it on or whatever and stuff like that. But
yeah, it does. Whenever I put it up in my house, I noticed I have to make room in the garage because that's where I was doing it. And then in Texas, it's hot, so I'm doing it in my garage, and then like I'm already sweating, and I'm like, dude, this is like a workout as well, dude.
But that's a great point to jump right in there because I'm brand new to it. I just got it last week or whatever, and that Nolan and Braden also have one, so we're trying them out on the dirtbag end of things to try to bring our perspective up to it and what all it can offer and do and stuff like that. But it's just as important to have players like yourself. So one of the first things that amazed me, blew me away, and I guess that's just the Oculus itself, MetaQuest, the device, that headset there alone, was that it is super safe. It is built in. When you put it in and it engages.
It does have the safety feature around like a barrier. Yeah, and a barrier. Yeah, and it lets you know when you're about, because you have to draw the line first. Yeah, and you have to draw like a big circle, but like if you're trying to do your whole mechanics, like if you're trying to simulate, the whole batting stance and everything. Yeah, so you have to find like a good old area, because I was doing it in a small area
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I need a bigger space. I need to move out of my room. I need to move into the garage. So
For sure. For sure. Because that's it, right? Like at
yeah,
first, you're working with the hand controllers. You're putting the hand controllers in there that
yeah,
come with the headset and stuff like
uh-huh,
that. And it's unbelievable on the screen in front of your eyes. All of a sudden, it's
it
like
is.
Star Wars or whatever, Darth Vader, like, and the bat's there.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
this
it's pretty
thing is
nice with the stadium set up, and then
unbelievable.
like when you put on the Oculus, you get to look around, and it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty
It
cool.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. So you're 30. I have to assume not only are you looking to get reps prior to the season based on your knowledge and your experience, but part of that knowledge and experience is whatever tool may be out there to help extend your career. Because you're
Yeah.
playing professional, you're from Texas, you're playing over here in France. How long have you been over in France playing?
This will be my 5th year
So there
over.
you go.
Yeah,
So I
overseas
have to
here. Yeah.
assume you're single, so you still love the game
Yeah.
of baseball. You still want to keep playing and doing the grind as long as you can. I have to
Yeah.
assume this tool is a part of that,
It is.
hopefully extending your career for you.
Yes, it is. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So on that point, how do you feel? Like, what's the number of reps you're at roughly right now? How many
Uh,
balls have you seen?
I think Ashley last week when we were talking, last week when I told you that I had it, I was showing you the little dashboard
Yep.
and everything, and I think I was at 6,800 pitches around there.
1,800 pitches.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
how,
but that's still, uh-huh.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the 6,800 pitches, that comes just from every time there's a release point on the pitcher, you know. So like I'm not seeing 6,000 pitches coming at a time. These are all different exercises, but every time there's a pitch, right? So on the exercises, they go on the sets of 20. You know, so you do 20, you finish, you do 20, you finish up, you do 20, and yeah. So every time like a release point is thrown or whatever, that counts as a pitch. But all that stuff, yeah, it's about 6,800.
Yeah, yeah, and it really is amazing. Like, I mean, I've just started to dive into it, like I said, but
Yeah,
yes, you can do your launch angle, your big baseball buzzword terms and stuff like that, and they're obviously really important terms and
yes,
valuable to the people that need to identify those. It breaks it all down, but
it does.
irrespective of all that stuff,
Mhm.
what if you were to talk to a new user or a potential new user, what are some of the tips or advice that you would give them?
I would definitely tell them to go in it with, definitely with an open mind, you know, going in with an open mind, and also use that as like a training tool, for like an everyday use, every other day use. Maybe that you got a game on a Friday, so you use it Thursday night. So I'm use that as like one of your tools to help you also get in your reps, the pitch recognition, so definitely. And then like what I really like the win reality is that it helps with your reflexes, and it helps train your eyes. So me, I'm a big believer in like training the eyes,
Okay.
so yeah. So the win reality treats the win reality gets you really good eye training as well.
Yes, I know some of the options are the blind spot basically or whatever, and that where you
Yeah,
see the release and you can basically set the distance from your batting stance, right? To
yeah,
where the ball disappears, and your job is to fastball, slider, splitty, change up, guess the
yeah,
pitch, right? And ultimately, we're saying guess because early on you are guessing, right? Because you don't have
yes,
that data, you don't have that repetitions, like you said, in your eyes, in your mind, to maybe
yeah,
be able to know what that ball is right away. So I have to assume early on, you're probably maybe instead of 60 feet 6 inches, obviously the full distance, just go ahead and practice that for a little while. Get
yeah.
used to seeing it. And then maybe go down to what, 50 or 55 and just incrementally back it up.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think like my goal right now for the week, and it's been a goal since I started the season, is to at least get 300 or 400 reps in each week, because like you could do 100 reps you know, like you can see 100 pitches like this real quick within 15 minutes, you know. So yeah, so I mean, like I think right now that's my goal. Like I know before the season I was trying to do like almost 600 a week,
Okay.
you know, pitches. But like just like what I said, like you're seeing almost 100 pitches within 15 minutes, you know.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah, and also you're seeing different like pitches. You're seeing a change up. You're seeing a curve. You're seeing a true curve. You're seeing the 90 per hour fastball and 95 all the way up to 99 miles an hour as
yeah, I
well.
was gonna say, how true is that? How since I mean, you're over 6,000
Yeah,
balls thrown at you and stuff like
yeah,
that. How true are each of those pitches? You hear them speak highly of it and stuff like that. And
mhm,
like they said, right, there's no bullpen. You or our batting practice, sorry. You know, you
yeah,
jar at me, you talk at me because I'm your batting practice pitcher or whatever.
yeah,
And I try my best to do a good job and bring a little
yeah,
bit of gas to it too, a little
yeah,
bit of heat. But there's not
yeah,
a chance. You can't put the quarter in and I just repeat, repeat. I don't repeat.
yeah, yeah. You can't
So
know.
is it really repeatable?
Yeah, it is. It's. I would say it's almost to the closest live pitching you can get,
Really?
like as far as right now. Yeah, you know, like you have all the other like batting cages, things where they have the simulation with the computer going at and everything, but at home, almost lifelike pitches coming at you 90 per hour or live pitches, you know, like coming at 90 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the best things that or training tool that you could have. And as well on top of that, as you know, also like you also got to put in the physical work as well, because all this, yeah, all this I mean the Oculus, all this is just mental training, you
Yes.
know, trying to get the little reflexes, or like I would say the little wire in, or like little wires in your head
Sure.
and in your eyes, just trying to get it connect and try to get that reflex
Yeah.
uh,
Great.
going.
Great segue. Great segue to my next question. So, yes, you can stay with these all day. And yes, they
Yeah,
become a simulated virtual reality bat.
yeah,
But what's the other option that you get with it? Yes, I think, like you said, it was maybe $30 or whatever, and that over
yeah,
and above the Oculus or whatever. This is what it looks like in the bat. I don't know if you happen to have it with you handy or not,
yeah, it's right.
Chris, but yeah,
Yeah, this is it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
how
this
does
thing
that
just,
work? That goes around your bat.
yeah, it goes around the middle of your bat. Okay, and then you kind of wrap it through here,
Okay.
or you wrap it up, and then you strap up the Oculus. So yeah, so the Oculus is not flying around. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
It's
yeah, so
secure. You've had no
yeah, it's
issues
pretty
with it.
secure.
Yep.
No issues with it. I like the material is rubber. Okay, so the material rubber, so it really grips onto your bat, and there's no way of it slipping in or slipping out, and especially whenever you do interlock it, it locks pretty well on. So I
Fantastic.
really think it's a great, yeah, yeah, it's
Impressive.
a pretty cool thing what they made, yeah,
Now, you talked about the mental physical connection.
yeah,
Got to get you to talk to them because this was real for you, right? And that's why we've
yes,
got
it was
Kirk.
definitely,
That's why we're talking to Chris because
yeah,
we're wanting to educate and empower you. And hey, we're going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or
yeah,
not. We're going to tell you the truth because it's going to make you better if you decide to do it ultimately. What was that transition like
yeah,
from just these to the bat?
yeah, yeah, to this right here, yeah. So I'm just like what we were speaking earlier, you know, just like, yeah, I mean, you can hit 95 going like this, you know, with a hand controller, you know, you could go like that because you're only using one hand control whenever
Sure.
you're right. So I mean, going like this, catching up to 95, you know, like I mean, in the very beginning, you're gonna struggle, okay, because you have the hand and you know, but maybe after like 100 pitches, boom, like you start being on contact with 90 or with 90, 95, right? And then yeah, so that I was like, oh yeah, you know, 90, you know, I could hit it, you know. But then my dad was like, no, man, like you need to get the attachment. I was like, no, no, no. He's like, no, you need to get it, you know. So I was like, all right, man, you know, like I get the attachment, all right. So like I'll get the attachment, all right. So then like I got the attachment and then I put it on, and then the first thing what I put on, like I put it on a guy that was throwing 95, but like it doesn't throw consistently 95. He'll like he'll throw 89 a fastball, then next pitch will be a fastball also, but he pumped it up to 95, and then so like he throws like around 90 93, right? but at the same time they're throwing slider, change up, and all that. So like yeah, yeah. So the first time I put this on, dude, I struggle, man. Dude, I struggle because like what I said, they go in reps of 20, right? So I think it took me about almost 40 reps to get the timing down with like seeing 90, 93, 94, 95. And then from there, like just what I explained to you earlier, like hitting it with the handle is easy, you know. But when you put a real bat in your hands and when you put the attachment and everything, it's a total different ballgame, you know. And then like I remember, like I was trying, like, dude, or like I remember I was like, man, dude, well, like, why can't I catch up? Right. So then that's when we talked about the competitive came out, and yeah, and I was like, oh no, now, like I got to get real into this, like I really got to set up, I really got to do my whole like real batting stance. Yeah. And then when I started doing that, that's when I started noticing. I'm like, dude, this thing is like, it takes it to a different level when you get the attachment and then you put on the back, because it's literally the closest thing that you're really going to get. Yeah.
As a coach, I can totally understand and believe what you're saying there. So for you, the hit VR is a must.
Yes, definitely.
Must inclusion. Yes. And for me as well, or whatever, and stuff like that. Yes, this is a nice, neat toy and stuff like that. And like you said, to get orientated and just get comfortable and get some reps, maybe up to your first 1,000, like you said, or whatever, or you're just having some fun with buddies, maybe that aren't baseball players or whatever, and that they just want to, hey, I want to see if I can hit a major league pitcher or whatever. And that, absolutely. But if you're really going to get into the training and you're a baller, you want to hit.
It's a very good training from there. Like on there, they have different training, and then like the top 3 that I use is the pitch recognition, which I use the most. That one's on where you don't have to use the bat attachment. So whenever pitch comes, you kind of locate, you press the trigger on there, so you press where the pitch was thrown in the little box that you have there. So you press it on there, and then when you press where you think the ball was, then you got to pick the pitch, right? And then some of these pitchers, they only got 3, and some pitchers they have like 5 pitches. Wow. So you really got to pay attention if it's a changeup, if it's a slider, if it's a cutter, or if it's a split, or it's a fastball. So then after. Yes, so that one's is one of the exercises, and that one is the one more just for getting the reflection, more like identifying like pitches, and the other one, and the other drill that I use a lot is the recognition of the strike zone, right? So like you got to recognize a pitch at a certain distance when it comes in, and then like you got to click. So as soon as you recognize like it's a strike, boom, you got to click it. Yeah. So I think when I first started, I was at 10 feet, from home plate.
For sure.
Yeah. From 10 feet. And then where the 10 feet, that would tell me, okay, like I'm recognizing the pitch being a strike 10 feet away from the plate. And in baseball, dude, you're late.
Impossible.
So then after all these pitches, I think the average, because it sends you like a daily, like a weekly report, and I think my average right now it's between 18 and 20 feet.
Okay. So you're getting better.
It's getting better.
Collecting information. It makes sense when you think about it, right? Because you're allowing yourself to see it over and over again.
Yes, exactly. And that's what baseball is.
You mentioned earlier, whatever, and I know right away it hit me on the competitive side. If you're a competitor, it was crazy. I just used it for the first time, 2 sets of 10 today, and I swung through the first 2, and it was just like the brain went on. I was like, enough of that. It's time to hit. And
it's time to hit.
This was a major league guy or whatever. And luckily enough, I got 2 out of the 10. I was loving life, man, because I was like, hey, if I'm in the majors, 2 out of 10 right now gets you $5 million, $7 million a year. So life is good, But I speak of that competitive in the fact of you're still competitive, but now that you've got those many reps and collected that much data, is it a controlled aggression like you hear the great hitting coaches and the great hitters talk about? Hitting with controlled aggression. Is it starting to get there for you now?
Yeah, it's just I certainly have more confidence. I could tell you that, and I felt more confident this year coming into the season because of the training that I was doing. But yeah, like it does make you control. Like it does make you control. The aggression in the batter box, when to swing, when not to swing. Like the pitch recognition and all those good exercises that the Win Reality offers.
For sure. And I mean, dirtbags, I can validate that, what Chris is saying. I mean, as his coach spent the last, we're up about 4.5 months together now, Chris. And,
Yeah.
Yes, Chris is a chill dude. I'm going to say it that way because most people will get it. He's a chill dude by nature. But last week when he told me he uses it, a lot of what I had seen and the ability to go the other way and the ability to just be really in control during each of his bullpens or batting practices, made sense. You were just on a different level. And at first it was almost, I have to be honest, Chris, it was almost like, geez, I don't know if this guy cares. I know he cares, but you were just so relaxed and so purposeful with what you were actually doing. I was like, wow, there's a lot of maturity in this kid. But now a lot of that makes total sense to me. In the fact that that's right, you've seen those and you've got that data collected, and it's basically like you said, it's confidence now. So even though I'm a live person doing it, a lot of that feedback, there's the release point. I've seen lefties in there. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and the cool thing also, like they have different arm angles. You could see 90 here, but then you could see 90 from like over here as well, or like three quarters, because and like you have all of these different arm angles. You could go left from here or left from down here or like wherever you want. And then man, it's crazy. And then I think like it's just cool, man. It's a pretty cool tool, but also at the same time you still got to put in the physical work as well.
Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. It's an aid, right? It's a phenomenal training aid, but it comes down to you at the end of the day. You and I talk about it all the time, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to the individual. It doesn't matter how much knowledge I can give you or not give you. If we don't collaborate and really talk deep about it so you understand it, and then you go and take advantage of it, it's all useless. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And like you said many times, Chris, we see so many players physically working hard. And they are working hard, but I hate to say it, they're working stupid because they're not actually getting better. They're just working hard. And then they go into games and then they wonder why they're not having quote unquote success. Well, they don't even understand what success is. So, I mean, that's another show for another day or whatever and stuff like that. But I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your insight on the Win Reality. And you know what? I'm sure we're going to have more of these conversations, you and me or whatever, at the field for sure. But
yeah, for sure.
Let's say somebody out there right now, Chris, if you don't mind, there's a watcher out there right now, maybe a young watcher, his dad, his mom, her dad, softball, whatever it is. They have a little bit of uncertainty still about the Win Reality. They think they're in, but they're not 100%. Where could they reach out to talk with you or whatever and that? Is there Instagram? Is there Facebook? They might be able to get in touch with you and, hey, Chris, would you mind giving me a little insight to help me make the final decision on this?
Yeah, definitely. I got Instagram and I got Facebook as well. My Instagram is Christopher02 and my Facebook is Chris Buitron with a Buitron.
All right. And Dirtbags, I'll get that and I'll put it on the YouTube. It'll be right there for you to be able to get in touch with Chris or whatever. And I take advantage of it. The guy's a solid dirtbag, man. He's a dirtbag. He's good. He's great. He's got the attitude. He's got the commitment. He's got the effort. And this was just a bonus for me personally. Like I said at the top of the show, it was a bonus for me that he had the Win Reality because he's one of my favorites. And I was all over this show. So thank you again, Chris, for coming on, being a part of the nation and helping educate and empower the dirtbags out there. So thanks again, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. You got it.
Yeah.
So dirtbags, hey,
Get
For
it.
me, this is a no-brainer, man. This is a no-brainer to win reality because it's just, again, there's no batting practice pitcher out there that can do what it can do. It not only has a bit of fun simulation to it, but it gets down to the real stuff, like Chris said. Put the bat in your hands, put the hit VR on it, and go to work, and go to work, and go to work, and go to work.
Yeah.
That's
Play
why
discipline.
Paul Goldschmidt's and your top Division I colleges, they're in on the membership. You know, Chris is in on the membership. Other pro athletes are on the membership. Future draft prospects are on there. Hey, they're not on there because it's a gimmick. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So do with it what you want, dirtbags. It's in your hands right now. Hey, we're going to have another episode coming up again next week or whatever and stuff like that. We're going to keep going with this to try to keep it engaging and keep educating you. So if you do have questions, like I said, send them to Kirk at dirtbagbaseballnation.com so I can reach out to the team at Win Reality, whatever, and I get those answers for you. And we'll either do it off air or we'll do it on a future recording. So until next week, dirtbags, you know what time it is. It's time to get up, get after it, and get dirty.